At the request of Def Noodle's homie Arthur
That's weird.
Hamilton, I've been asked to tell you guys that me and Arthur
That's weird.
Hamilton are not friends. So I am telling you, me and Arthur
That's weird.
Hamilton are not friends. Let's get started. What's up, everybody? Ty Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe. You owe it to me because I have watched enough of this content that my brain hurts. I'm not going to talk a lot about it. What I am going to tell you is that I've been hit up by two of Def Noodle's homies, and I feel no real way about that. Like I told you guys, nobody needs to creep into my DMs for anything.
Shit is lame as
I just don't see a point to it. I went ahead and put something out because I was asked to. I judged the comedy on its merits was what I did. I said it sucked. I stand by that. If you remember, I talked about Arthur Hamilton. He was the
That's weird.
guy. And what he said was, don't say we're friends if you're going to make a video and mention my name several times and not even reach out to me for any clarification or real insight. You weren't there, so you really don't know all that happened and why some things occurred. And I wasn't even a part of the roast, but yeah, Ty, keep doing your thing. To which I responded with, saying we're friends makes you look better than it does me. And he sent, that doesn't matter to me. Yes, it does, or you wouldn't be hanging out with Def Noodles when you know he's on some shit right now. But let me just keep reading. Then I sent him back, I don't know what I missed other than you not handling a crowd well and saying this is weird over and over. You're right though. I'm the problem. I'll be clear from now on about the fact that we're not friends. Take care. Then he sent, bet. We were done with that. It's really the way I felt about it. I wasn't there to do a deep dive. I didn't say I had gotten in contact with anybody. I didn't get a hold of Arthur because I didn't know that he was going to be on that video. And then when I saw him on the video, I was just like, okay, well, that's a terrible job handling that. But I didn't really see a point in contacting him. Plus, I knew everybody was going to be contacting them anyway. So what would I contact them about? Just to be like, hey, why did you say
That's weird.
that many times? I didn't see a point to that. But if you want to pretend like I'm the problem and not the way you handled that crowd, that's on you. I've been there. I'm a comedian. I mean, like, I've been doing this for a long time. You think I haven't ever not handled a crowd well? Of course I have. That's how we learn. But at the same time, if you're not going to be honest with yourself and you're going to make it seem like I'm the problem, you're not going to grow and you're not going to get better. So stay where you're at. Continue to go ahead and kiss Def Noodle's ass and see how far that gets you. And when that train hits its last stop, jump off that one and find another one. I personally don't try to find people to latch onto. I have some very successful friends that have helped me out along the way, and that's great. But at the same time, if I knew some people were doing some things that weren't the smartest, I would definitely be like, yeah, let's not do that. Let's go ahead and do it in a different way. Let's tweak it. How about you, Def Noodles, aka Dennis, go ahead and take down that video or go ahead and edit the parts out that don't make us look the best. I mean, like, there's so many ways that that could be handled, and YouTube has an editor, and Dennis is smart enough and has enough money and has people that work for him that could take care of that for him. But instead he leaves it up because he knows it generates clicks. Well, if you're more worried about clicks than your actual career, then that's on you. I mean, like, don't hit me up on some, like, if you wanted to hit me up and be like, this is the way it really went down, that would have been your opportunity to do it. Not hit me up telling me don't say we're friends. Okay, well, you're right. You didn't handle that crowd right. Really, I was being nice by saying we're friends, but you made yourself look bad. So why would I want to be attached to you or want to, like, it wasn't a feather in my cap saying we were friends. I just thought we were friendly. But if you feel that way about it, you feel that way about it. People make content about me all the time. The only time I don't like it is when people lie about me. And I didn't lie about you. I didn't say I knew anything about specifically what was going on behind the scenes. I ended up hearing about what was going on behind the scenes later on. A friend of mine told me that I was 100% right. A friend that was there said that you guys were drinking and smoking in the back. And if you guys are drinking and smoking like that in the back, you're probably not going to be on your toes enough to be able to do the things that you need to do to handle that kind of audience, which clearly none of you were used to. But okay, whatever. So then Steve, the guy, I would imagine this is that guy Steve that hangs out with Def Noodles and was part of the show, the co-host, as they would say. He hit me up and he was like, a lot more to this story that you know. But as we know, YouTube is about the content, baby. You could have reached out to the so-called comedians you do know and asked them, what's up with this shit? but the people want this. LOL, this is whack. And I responded with, actually, you're whack, and referring to them as so-called comedians is you being negative about what I would assume are your friends. The fact is, none of you handled that well. Maybe think more on that instead of trying to blame me. But then again, you can't even articulate your thoughts in a YouTube comment that you've had time to think about. So why would I expect you to be good at doing it on the spot? And yeah, this video was requested more than once, so I checked it out. Maybe talk to your boy Brandon about not live streaming your failures or his assaulting a person. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I know I said Brandon instead of Dennis, but I haven't committed a lot of these names to memory because they're not going to matter. Like I told you guys, I'm done watching this content. I don't really care about any of the characters involved. I think everybody's mishandling the situation. I feel like Dennis is more worried about clicks than he is about actual stand-up or really doing anything. He claims to be running a comedy club, but people keep asking him about the liquor license, which I was told the loophole on that, for anybody that was wondering. This is what I was told, so I don't know this to be 100% true, but I was told there was a loophole in like the way that events work in Los Angeles, where if you sell all you can drink as part of the ticket price, then you don't need to have a liquor license. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was told by somebody that supposedly knows about the way that these things work. I don't know that to be 100% fact, but that's what I was told. And if that's not the case, then maybe you guys don't really care enough about that business to really worry about that, because that will get you shut down if you don't in fact have a liquor license. I will say that I think the online situation that happens with some people where they're like, I want to ruin your life now. I want to completely ruin everything that you have. I want to make sure you don't have a business. I don't really like that. So if you're doing that, then you're really not my people. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I just don't like that. You know, I was hearing that they were trying to contact Def Noodle's ex-girlfriend, get a hold of her for some reason. And I'm not down with all that, but if that's the way people choose to conduct themselves and that's what Dennis has found himself in, then I guess that's his bed. And who am I to tell you where to lay down or where not to lay down? So then Steven responded to me with, at Ty Rivera, who the is Brandon? Great research. LOL. Yes, the people wanted this. Well, like I just said, you know, since I'm not counting on him for my money or anything to do with me, I don't really care about his name. So I did the research that I needed to do. Before I made the first video, I watched the entire roast battle, which was horrible to watch. Everybody sucked except for, like I said, the one guy was good. Elliot Mack, I believe was his name, and he was decent, but outside of that, everybody just sucked. So what do you want from me about it? And I watched your guys' after show where you guys talked, and Arthur once again told us,
You weird as if you doing that.
and that's as far as I went. You know, I don't know if you thought I was supposed to watch everything that's ever been said and done and do personal interviews with all you guys, but get over it. It's not my job and it's not what I'm doing. Really, I did just comment on what we actually saw in the video, which is what the average person would go on. The average person isn't getting in contact with all of you guys. So I did the best job that I could do with the information that you had out there. If you guys don't like it, like I said, have Def Noodles take it down or have him edit it so you guys don't look so bad. So I responded with, sorry, I got a name wrong. If I were relying on him to make my non-existent career like you are, I would definitely remember. All the research I really needed to do was watch you and all your friends mishandle a situation and not be able to control your crowd. Keep trying to find a win in this though. And then he put, haha, it wasn't really just that, but play on, playa. Stay on the hate train. And then I responded with, nobody's hating. You just can't take the fact that you didn't look good in the live stream. The fact that you can't take that is why you'll never get better. Enjoy a life of mediocrity and trying to attach yourself to others to find some sort of relevance though. Play on, playa. Because that's really what they're all doing. They've got a guy that has some social media clout, and I will admit that Def Noodles does have some followers. You know, he has like 500,000 followers on one of his channels alone. So you guys see that, your eyes get glazed over, and suddenly you guys don't care about the fact that you're not looking the best, which is one of the things that I would tell people is don't attach yourself to other people. Comedy really is a solo sport. And if somebody's making you look bad or you're not being portrayed in the best light, then maybe you need to think about whether or not that person is someone that you want to continue to roll with. And in this case, it seems like you guys really have chosen to do that. Now, do I think that Salvo did some things wrong? I definitely do think that Salvo did some things wrong. And when I was reading the comments, I corrected a few people where one person put in a reply to, I believe it was Def Noodle's video, you invited him, but he's not allowed to see the venue until it's his turn to perform. That doesn't make any sense. Imagine you get a chance to perform at a venue, but you can't practice on the set of the venue. You can't get a feel for the venue, can't meet any of the people that go on before or after you. That doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you, especially the owner of the club, want to have a meeting with him so you could go over all the things you'd like to have had happen at the event? Instead, since you didn't do any of that pregame, Salvo was free to do as he wanted. Well, that's not really the way comedy works either. Like I told you guys, I've been doing this for 19 years, and usually, even when you're headlining a show, you don't get a tour of the venue. You usually do get to see what the venue looks like right as the show starts. You go in, maybe 30 minutes, you get there early, and you don't traditionally do a sound check with stand-up comedy. Some people would say that that's a thing. A lot of us don't really care. I've never had a problem with it. I have had times where after the show I've been like, yeah, can we tweak the sound a little bit, or can we do, and like if you're doing a casino or a theater or arena, but if you're just at a regular club, that's not customary. And then another person put, ask a headliner if they ever in their whole career were not allowed into the green room well before a show starts. Now ask a headliner if there are random ass non-important people in the green room before a show. Yeah, that's what I thought. But hey, it's his club. He can do what he wants. Just don't pretend like you do things the professional, well-known way. Well, that's not the professional, well-known way either. And especially when you're on the main event of a roast battle, which is what it's called rather than being a headliner. Like, I saw that Salvo was saying that, and there was a point where he showed himself like banging on the doors while he's introducing himself to security to get into the club the night of the show, right before the show.
The talent has arrived. Salvo Pancakes, main event. Hey, security, you need to be here. What are you doing? You don't see me on here. I'm the main event. People are here for me. Any other name? Keemstar's employees? That his lame thing that he did? Okay, tell Dennis to get his ass out here and let me in.
He's his main
He's
roast
not
battle
letting me
opponent.
in. My name's not on the list. Patojo! Dennis!
And I can tell you as a person that does headline, when you headline, if I were to show up at a club and be like, hey, I'm the headliner, and like really busting the security's balls and banging on the door and being like, get out here, somebody get out here, they would just be like, yeah, you're not the headliner, we'll get somebody else. Or they would put up with you and you'd never be asked back again. Also, like I said, this isn't a headlining situation. This is being the main event of a roast battle. And in a lot of cases, yeah, at a roast battle, there are just random ass people in the green room. Like I mentioned the Comedy Store and how professional the roast battle is there. The official roast battle is there. And even there, a lot of times it's just a lot of people in the green room. There's a lot of random ass people in the green room. So that is customary when it comes to that. And I wouldn't lie to you guys about that either. Like I said, I have nothing invested here. I don't hate anybody involved. I just think that a lot of people mishandled the situation, and you have a lot of people pretending that they know more about stand-up than they actually know. Like the person that left this comment, I don't have anything against this person either. I don't know this person, never met this person. But when I read comments like this, I'm like, yeah, you really don't understand how stand-up works. And I think that that's a lot of what's going on here and the real problem, and maybe what I have a problem with is that not only are people like Steven or Steve, whatever he goes by, and Arthur, but just like the surrounding, the periphery, is nobody's correcting anybody. And even if you're friends with someone, and this is something that I've lost friends over, but I think it's worth losing friends because I would rather feel like I'm doing things the way that I should be doing them than what's the popular thing. But sometimes you do have to tell your friends like, hey, you're not doing this right. And sometimes those friends will have a lot of money. Sometimes those friends will be somewhat over you in the amount of clout they have or in their fan base. But if you really feel like they're doing wrong, if you really know that they're doing wrong, then I think it's smarter to let them know what's going on and not burn your reputation. Because unfortunately right now, Steve and Arthur and a lot of the comics that are choosing to really ride for Def Noodles, Dennis, Brandon, whatever, what you're doing is you're really making yourself look unprofessional, and maybe you think there's no consequence to that, and maybe you'll find a way to circumvent the regular system and it really won't affect you. But I personally think you guys are looking bad right now. I think you're all looking unprofessional. You're making yourself look like amateurs, and I think it's because you guys don't have enough faith in yourselves and your own talent and your own ability to go ahead and say something to somebody that you think is going to get you somewhere that they're probably not going to get you. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't really see this turning into the big thing that you guys think it's going to turn into. And I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, and I'm not trying to talk shit about anybody. Everybody that knows me, which I know some of the YouTube audience doesn't know me, but anybody that knows me knows that I don't hold my tongue and I will say things the way that I feel them. And if I wanted to talk shit about any of you guys, I would just talk shit. But that's not really the way that I'm trying to come at this. I'm just trying to talk to you guys logically, because I think you guys as newer comics are screwing yourselves whether you realize it or not. And I really don't think this is going to become the big deal that you guys think it is, especially when I saw on one feed last night where somebody had suggested to Def Noodles what I had said, like, why don't you give these people some time to actually know who they're roasting so that they can write some quality jokes. And Def Noodles was like, no, that's the point of this show. That's the way we're doing it. And it's like, okay, so you're taking people that are already newer, because all of the comics you had on that show were on the newer side. You're having them roast, which is a different skill. It's not even traditional stand-up. And then you're not giving them enough information or enough notice on what they're going to be doing so that they can at least prepare the best way that they could possibly prepare to actually be able to excel in that particular situation. So for me, like I said, I'm done talking about this because I don't think any of these people are being realistic in the way that they're coming at any of this. And I think a lot of the audience that's actually against it is just doing it from a place of hate, and I don't really get down with hate like that. Like, if your thing is you love stand-up comedy or you love roast and you want to see them go well or you want to see that look good, then I can understand that. I could get behind that, but I don't think it's productive to just be like, I hate this person and I want to ruin their life. And that's not something I personally want to be a part of, and that's not something I want to be involved with the karma that will probably go with that. So good luck to everybody. And, you know, if anybody wants to hit me up in the DM and be like, hey, this is what it was, but don't hit me up on some like, well, I guess we're not friends shit. Because, okay, then I guess we're not. There is no consequence to me in any of what I'm talking about right now. There is no way that I feel close to anybody enough that there's going to be any kind of, I feel so bad, me and Arthur aren't friends anymore. I haven't seen Arthur in 5 years at least. So what if I don't see you? You think I really care if you say we're not friends anymore? Like I said, I was just being nice. I don't care if we're not friends. But yeah, so if you want to hit me up on something like that and give me some news I can use, then cool. But as far as acting like there's some kind of social consequence to me, really not. I don't care about anything that's happening right now. Anyway, you guys can let me know what your opinions are down below. Please subscribe if you made it this far in the video. I will be giving opinions on plenty of other exciting things and plenty of other current events, but it's just this one is kind of dead for me. So this has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.